with another episode. Hey friends, we are back with another episode of Glitter and Gossip. I'm your host, Glenn, and today we have Darius or Soul. I am so excited to bring them on because they're a personal friend of mine. I met them doing What the Float. They were actually one of my DJs when I led, so we'll talk about more about that in a moment. So I'm just gonna get this shared and ready to go. Here we go. All right. All right, so we are good to go. Hold on one second. We are technology. I hope everyone's doing well and staying safe in quarantine. There we go. All right, beautiful. We are live. We are ready to go. Okay, so now we're going to bring on the beautiful, the incomparable Darius and Soul. Here we go. Hello, my love.
How are you? What's going on?
I'm doing so well. How are you?
I'm doing great, doing my best to, manage the quarantine, and the feelings of just being sedentary and not being able to be free out in the world around the people that I love. But I'm doing really, really well, all things considering.
Yeah. What is keeping you going through this quarantine? What are the things that you're focusing on, or the things that are that you look forward to each day?
Honestly, the thing that I look forward to each day is being able to wake up. Honestly, it's a blessing to be in this world. It's a blessing to be alive. And, I look forward to learning more about myself. I really have taken this time of, social distancing to really focus on myself spiritually and really dig deep on all the things that really affect me so I can become a better person when I go back out into the world. I feel like doing that is going to make my drag better. It's going to make me better and my relationship stronger and better as well.
I love that. Yeah, I really feel like this time is forcing everyone that we're used to go, 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 go to kind of stop, and the things that we learn in that process. Is there anything that stuck out to you that you've learned so far?
I think I realized that working in an office is like another social construct, just basically for the people in power to disempower you as well as make you feel like you don't really you have to be watched after. I feel like since I've been working from home, it's been really great. I work really confidently. I work in my own working style. I don't really feel self-conscious or stressed. And I really have built a lot more confidence in myself since I've been distancing. Yeah.
Yes, I love that. And I hope one of the things I hope as we all leave this is the things that we learn during this process and the things that work, we're going to bring with us even after social distancing is done.
Very, very true. Very true.
I love that. So first I want to talk about, let's let the children know how we met.
Yes, let's talk all the glitter and gossip, girl.
Yes. So I met Darius. Do you remember which float it was? How long have you been doing What the Float?
So
wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. So What the Float is this incredible dance experience.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, it is a silent disco that moves through New York City every month in a different location, and you dance through the streets, parks, playgrounds, you name it. And I met this beautiful creature doing one of those floats. How long have you been doing float?
I've been doing float. This July will be 3 years.
Wow, nice.
It's absolutely crazy how time flies, but I think we met at a float in the summer because I distinctly remember you being in pom pom shorts and full of glitter without a shirt on. So I know it wasn't cold. So I don't know specifically which one, but it felt like when we met that we already knew each other for ever. So it felt like we were just reuniting again.
Yeah, for sure. Wait, can you say that one more time? You broke up a little bit.
Yeah, sorry. I said we met. And I don't know exactly when it was, but I know that it was warm because you were wearing pom pom shorts and glitter all over, and you didn't have a shirt. And even though we didn't know each other, it was when we did meet, it was we were reuniting, and we haven't seen each other in a long time because just who you are as a person, just being so open and wanting to give glitter to everybody. And I remember when you hugged me, I was like, oh my God, I have all this glitter on me. And you're like, yeah, you want more glitter?
Yes.
Yeah.
I remember specifically the one where I don't remember. I think it was in Brooklyn.
Okay.
I remember we were sitting outside of a restaurant. It was where the the stop was,
Mhm.
and you were just sharing with me about your search for finding light, and you were talking about like tarot reading, and
Mhm.
it was just such. I don't even remember the specific of the conversation, but I remember just being so drawn to you and like
Mhm.
everything you were saying. I was going through it. My dad had passed away in January, and
Yeah.
just like, it was when you were talking about your shower had collapsed.
Oh Lord, yes,
You're
child.
you're like
I literally almost lost my life this past year. And it was a very traumatic experience, but it is something that I guess would happen because I live in the Bronx and I have a terrible landlord and a terrible super. But like the whole ceiling, I was taking a shower and I was doing my thing, like listening, singing out loud, and then all of a sudden I heard like a crack, and I was like, "What the hell was that sound?" And the whole ceiling collapsed on top of me, and like it was ridiculous. It was really crazy. And I remember talking to you about that because I was like, as soon as it happened, like I was like, I gotta fucking live my life. Like I can't hold back. Like I just have to take every day like it's gonna be my last day, because it was a very scary, scary experience. Yeah.
yeah. And I remember like you talked about like feeling like you would not have survived it if it weren't
Mhm.
for sort of your spiritual guidance and sort of the aid that you felt from.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry to cut you off. Yeah, no, definitely. I felt like something was like, get out of the shower,
Yeah.
get out now. And I was like listening, and then like I heard it, and it was just like the slow cracking. It's kind of like it kind of sounded reminiscent of like when a tree falls and you start hearing the crackling of like the stump and everything and the branches. And I was hearing it, and I was like, let me get out. And as I'm getting out, I have like 1 foot out of the tub. Thank God my floor mat was down there, or otherwise I would have slipped. The whole ceiling came on top of like the back of me and hit my right shoulder, my neck. And I was just like screaming because I was so afraid that the whole like somebody was above me and they were gonna come on, like fall on top of me
Yeah.
and like crush me. Yeah, it was really scary, but she survived it because she's a survivor.
Exactly. And it was like your outlook on that situation, what happened to you, and what you chose to take away from that situation. I was like, this is a person that I need to be around more. I want to like feed off of their energy, and I want to share my energy with them.
Yeah.
And that was, I don't even remember when that was or like where we were going, but like
It was
that
like
was
it
how.
was like last March, I
Yeah.
believe. I think it was like last March, I believe, or like April. Probably April because that's when float starts. So I probably spoke to you around that time. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. So I asked you to be my DJ when I did
Mhm.
mine. So this was last
DJ
March.
Cole in the house, bringing all the beats.
Yes. Oh my God. It was amazing. And also, like, I gave you a challenging route. Like, for those
Yeah,
of you who don't
it
know,
was challenging.
I love doing like athletic floats. Like, we're gonna be moving, we're gonna be seeing different things. So I gave like it was a challenge to do that. But can you talk about what the process is like creating a DJ set for float?
Yeah, so for people who don't know, like whenever we're having a float event every month, like there are people who design the routes, and then there are DJs that design the music playlist for the route that people are going to be walking on. So Glenn was the float leader, and he designed the route, and I made the playlist for the route. When we did it, it was a lot of like stuff going on at the time with like Glenn and me, and our schedules didn't really match, and we didn't have a lot of time. But we went on a walk together, and I was just like walking. I was like, oh God, this is a lot. This is like a big stretch. I was like, okay, so I just got to put a lot of bangers on this and keep people shaking their ass and moving. And honestly, I love that experience with you because I feel like I'm the type of person who works better under pressure, even though I try to prepare. I do procrastinate sometimes. So like working under pressure, like makes me feel like I bring my best shit. But when we did the route, it was like I was really nervous, and then we had a chance to meet up again. But thankfully, I recorded it when we were walking because then I could kind of like get a feel and like kind of like compare it to the music. And I think my mix was the only one like I didn't have to do any changes to it because it like fit perfectly. And so that was like such a blessing because we didn't have a lot of time. I remember that.
Say that one more time. We didn't. We cut you out a little bit. We didn't have.
We didn't have a lot of time.
Yeah.
So like when everything was all done, it worked perfectly. And the fact that I didn't have to make any changes to my playlist was a huge blessing. But it was
Yeah.
also a testament to like you and I walking and actually having a full-fledged conversation about everything that you wanted and and I was like talking to you about how I wanted people to feel and like the feelings that you wanted people to feel when they were walking the route. And I think us having that come to Jesus moment was really great because it like totally made it easy for me to make the playlist. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. And yeah, I am very specific about like when I when I design my routes, like I want people to feel things. And I
Mhm.
love that you're so responsive to what I was getting at. And I totally felt that throughout the whole route. I loved it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a challenge, and I appreciate it because I feel like I grew from that experience. Definitely.
yeah. I
Yeah,
cannot wait when all this is done. I cannot wait to dance about all this with What the
yeah.
Flow.
I can't either. It's gonna be so great. It's gonna be glorious. Yeah.
So talk to me about your drag career. How did you first get into drag?
It's really funny because I have a dear friend that I work with named Adam who like was in a gay dodgeball league, and he invited me to come and watch him play. And as a kid, I was bullied a lot, especially when playing dodgeball, where to the point like where the gym teacher and all the other boys. This is back when school would separate the boys and the girls during gym.
Mhm.
He would have all the boys like on one side and me on the other side, and it was basically like I was getting stoned and like just humiliated.
Mhm.
So when I went, I was a little wary. But then after seeing like all the gay people, the beautiful people that were just like really nice, even though they were really like ferocious on the court, I was like, oh, maybe I could join it and kind of repair my own like emotional trauma that I have tied to this because like, I don't want to feel like I have fear. So I joined it, and upon joining it, I also like discovered, that I was a gender non-binary person, that I use she, her pronouns, and this is the person that I want to be. I had other friends in dodgeball. After we finished playing a game, we went to a bar and it was like an amateur lip sync competition. And I was talking about, I was like, I think I might want to do drag, just like gauging. They were like, you should do it. And so my friend Jacob was like, girl, she's gonna do it. And so I ended up winning the lip sync competition just like on a whim. It was like kind of kismet because the first song that came on was Cardi B, and I
Mhm.
love Cardi B. And then it was Destiny's Child, like Lose My Breath, and then it was like Everybody. So I knew all those songs, so I had
Yeah,
everything down. And I was like, this is a sign that I really need to do this.
I
So
love
I've been doing drag now for in February will be 3 years. And as much as I wish that I would have like a week long, every week I have like a residency where I perform, I have another job too. So like for me, doing this drag is something that I use for my creativity.
it.
And over the years, I've made such huge strides. I'm even surprised at myself. Like I've been in Style magazine twice. I got interviewed and I was featured as the #1 queen after performing in Bushwig, which is like a huge drag festival that's international and also in the United States. And it's just been a really beautiful ride. And I'm just really grateful to my friends who like started a drag show at Bar 9, Jose, aka Misogyny. And she like brought us on and she was like, I want to do like a drag variety show. And I know you wanted to do drag. So like, what do you think about this? And I was like, okay. And I just remember my debut doing drag. Like I did not know how to glue down a wig. I did not know how to really do my makeup. And I know today I don't have on a lot of makeup, but that's because I was on calls all morning for work. But I made like $450 in 4 minutes.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. And it would just seem like everything just kind of just went perfectly. And like a lot of stuff like I didn't rehearse. So, and like the way that the whole moment happened was just, it was affirming for me. And it was like, this is what I need to do. I need to be on stage. I need to like slay. I need to bring people, joy. And that's the whole reason why I started doing drag, is to heal and to, put a smile on people's face, because a lot of people are going through shit and they just feel really alone. And I know what that feels like. So yeah.
I love that. Can you talk to me about some of your musical and artistic inspirations with soul?
Yeah, so like my mom and dad, they raised us on like the old school music. So like I listened to Luther Vandross, Patti LaBelle, The
Yeah.
Temptations, Aretha Franklin, all of that. But when I was younger, and Michael Jackson was a huge influence. But when I was younger, it was definitely Destiny's Child. Like I know it sounds really funny because everybody stands for Beyonce, but like I am like the ultimate stan. I've been like head over heels like infatuated with her talent and her beauty and everything, and just her persona as a woman since 97 when No 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 came out. I remember like blasting that song all the time. Like it was on my little Walkman. Like it was ridiculous. So yeah, like I love it. I love her because she's just the ultimate entertainer. And that's something that I like to do. Like I like to bring comedy. I like to bring fierceness. I like to shake my ass because as being a big girl, a plus size queen, I am light on my feet and I will shake the fucking house down. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I will pull a choreo, a 1, 2, 3, 4, and give it to you real quick. Okay.
Yes. And I can say firsthand that that is absolutely true.
Yeah, we dance together all the time. So
Oh yeah, I know.
I pulled you on stage into my drag performance, and you didn't even know. You were such a good sport when I was doing Lizzo,
Yeah.
and I like grabbed you. It's actually really funny that
I love that moment because I was like, I mean, you're killing it, so I have to kill it too. Like, yes,
yeah.
yes,
Such
and girl.
I can only imagine if you were like, I don't want to be on stage, and then I would be like, damn. But you were such a good sport, so I appreciate you for that. For real,
You picked the right person. Yeah.
I did. Glitter, glitter to glitter.
Yes. So I love that you still have like a beard and like chest hair when in drag. Can you talk about that look and like kind of blending genders?
Well, yeah. So like, I only recently figured out last year that I was gender non-binary, and as a kid, I always felt very different, and you know, even though I am anatomically male, I feel like I have duality within me, and all of us do. But the feminine aspect of my personality, of that's part of my soul, literally, is very strong. And so as much as I would like to be one of those drag queens that shave their beards, which I might do one day, but like shave their beards and like beat their face to appear to be like as woman as possible. That's just not who I am, because who I am is the beard. Like I like having the beard. I like striking people. And even though I do have a beard, when I beat this face, I am the fishiest bearded woman on the stage in the world you will ever see. So, it was a choice for me to like really fight for my identity, that I don't have to conform to being a male or a female, even though my pronouns are she, her, and I feel like more of a woman on the inside, and I feel like I have to honor that feminine side of myself. I also feel like I was born in this body for a reason, and I really need to figure out what that is. And there are a lot of people, especially as of late, that have reached out to me on Instagram after seeing my stuff just on the explore page and saying like, like, I thought I had to choose, like, but I see that you don't choose. Like, what does that mean for you? And I'm like, like, I honestly don't feel like I need to choose. I feel like I can be gender non-binary. I can have a beard. I can wear women's clothes, and that is me. But not everybody might feel that way. But it's a journey, and it's up to you to really dig deep and decide who you want to be, and not let anybody change you. And that's something that I've always been taught from my parents, especially my dad. He always said, "Better than you is God." Like, so no one is better than me. So I am okay, and I'm 100% rooted in the fact that I am supposed to be who I'm supposed to be, and no one can change that. And so that's what I bring to my drag. I bring me, and that's the only person you're gonna get.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Do you remember when you started noticing that your identity may be gender non-binary? What were those original thoughts like, and how did you navigate that space?
I would say in 2016, I had a glimpse into what the person I was going to become. It was when I went to New Orleans, and I was really struggling because my hair had grown out, and I was like feeling like I just want to just have like long hair. I just want to feel like the woman that I like feel inside. But I didn't have a lot of words for it. I didn't really understand what it was, but I was so infatuated with getting like long braids. So for the first time ever, like I got braids and I went to New Orleans, and it was a shock to like my friends and my family who were with me. But honestly, once I did that, everybody was just like gravitating to me and like, oh, your hair's like really cool. And I was like, okay, so like I can still be super butch and manly on the bottom, and then like have like feminine hair, which like in reality, like hair is not feminine. But if you see a bearded man with like long braided extensions, you're gonna be like, okay, dude, like what are you doing? It really opened up the door for me. And I think it was when I went to Europe and I like really like went out there, had purple braids, and the love and the embrace that I had, it really let me know that it's okay to be me. And then I realized who I was. And so I'm never going back, like honestly, never going back, because I love the person I am now. And I've found so much strength, and I've found so much community and so much support and love from like my family, my parents, my brother, my sister. Like it's been so much love. And I just feel like if they can love me, then I have to love myself, right? And I really just have to bring me to the world because I am enough and I am no different from you. You and me are the same, you know? It's just we have different circumstances and different paths, but we are still at the root of it, human beings who deserve to be appreciated and understood and loved. And, you know, that's been my journey. It's been a journey of love and understanding and patience and grace for me, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God. Well, this is a perfect moment to show you some of the love that you've been getting from our fans.
Okay, let me put on my glasses, child, because I can't see.
Oh yeah, the library.
Oh, hey, Captain Armstrong. That's my boo from college. How you doing, boo? Ah.
And we got Danielle.
Hey, Danielle. What's good, Danielle? Hey, best friend. Ah.
And then we got Zach Job or Glow Job.
That's my sister. Hey, Glow Job. How you doing, boo? Nobody's going back, baby. Shining all the light.
So yeah, we got already so much love. Oh my God. Like, yes, I think that is what I love hearing when people start finding their authentic self, the world a lot of times responds back because they see that light, they see that authenticity, and they respond to it. So I love hearing stories like when people find their authenticity, that the world responds back in kind.
Yeah, it's been really beautiful and honestly super surprising. You know, just being an African American person, like you don't really get embraced and everything that's just been going on in this world. I've just been feeling super triggered, but also super supported and loved by the people who are in my life who understand, you know, what it takes to be to be me, be authentically me. You know, I don't take it for granted, and I don't, you know, I don't try to, you know, dilute the fact that this world can be really ugly. But I feel super empowered and feel super safe because of the fact that I have people who understand me and I now understand myself. And that's something that I just want to continue to bring to the world because, you know, if I didn't have like the RuPauls or, you know, like the Marsha P. Johnsons or the Sylvesters of the world, I wouldn't really know, like, I wouldn't really have seen myself, you know?
Yeah.
And even though it took a while for me to get here, I'm here. So now I can just step into my essence and just continue to just be, you know?
Yeah, for sure. And I think like I really do love that we are getting a lot more representation, especially for non-binary people. We finally have words to associate with this feeling that I bet people have been feeling for generations, but now we have the words to describe them.
Yeah.
Do you have any advice for allies? So for people that don't understand the experience, what is the best way for an ally to support you or to support a non-binary person in their understanding of how to treat them, how to support them, how to give them space?
I would say treat them like any other person. You know, we are just people, and our, you know, gender and our sexual orientation shouldn't really dictate how people treat us. But I would say ask someone how you can support them. If you don't have the education, if you don't know, ask questions. And just be upfront. I really don't know everything. Like I have friends today that are just like, sometimes they still call me he. I don't get upset because I have to understand that they've known Darius, like the he, for like 29 years, right?
Yeah.
And now they're understanding Darius / Soul, you know, because becoming Soul has literally been merged into the identity of Darius. Like people don't separate it anymore. And I realized that Soul has always been inside. But I would say for the people in my life, they've always asked, you know, what can I do to support? Or like, can you please explain to me what this means? Like, does that mean that? And just understanding that as an ally, if they come to you, you have to have the patience and teach them because you can't rob them of the lesson. You know, there's a lot of ignorance in this world. And I feel like if everybody took the time to be open to receiving the information and being open to teaching, that we would have a different world today, honestly. And people just remove fear because at the core of it, when shit really goes down, we band together and we're human. You know, I hate to talk about it, but when 9/11 happened, I felt like this country was more united because we just felt like we needed to care and love for each other, right? I feel like we need to continue to do that, and it should never dissipate. It should never be diminished. Like connection, love, and appreciation for people for who they are, and just understanding that that's them. Just because they're them doesn't make you less of you, you
Yeah.
know? And just understanding that. So I think that's something that I would tell the people who want to be allies, who are allies.
I love that. And for people that are learning their own identity as a non-binary person, do you have advice for someone who is beginning that journey?
Yeah, I mean, be patient, give yourself some grace, and give yourself some space. Like honestly, I would never tell anybody just to come out, because coming out is not always easy, and not everybody has the ability to be on their own, have the ability to feel safe on their own, or if they didn't be in a place where they don't have family, you know, or community. So like I would never rush and tell somebody to just come out. But what I will say is, you know you better than anyone else. You know, you just have to learn how to trust the voice inside. And I figured this out when I started trusting the voice inside, that, you know, not everybody is going to understand you, and not everybody is going to appreciate you or like you or even want to be around you, but that should never stop you from being you, you know? But there are a lot of ugly things in the world. So, you know, finding someone who you can really trust, finding someone who can, you know, help build you up, like a friend or like a relative, you know, that's really, really important. But also now we're in the age of social media. Like you can just reach out and meet somebody. You can reach out to celebrities and say, hey, you know, I've been feeling this way. I really, really like idolize you. You mean this to me. Like, how do you, you know, deal with this world, or how do you find yourself? And honestly, a lot of people will embrace you. I really feel, you know, and they'll answer those questions. But honestly, you know yourself better than anybody else, and just give yourself some time to just really feel that through. And if it changes, it can change. It's your life. Like you can be what you want to be. Like no one can dictate your label, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I love that.
Beauty isn't binary.
Yes. I love that.
You know? It's non-binary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So we brought you on with Camp Getaway. So you were there for LGBT weekend.
I was.
Yes. So first of all, like you killed it in the costume contest. Can you talk about, like, obviously I brought my friends that I knew were gonna serve.
Yeah.
And I was not disappointed. Can you talk about what that experience was like? What were you expecting going into that weekend?
Well, first of all, I just want to say thank you. Because, you know, you did bring me on, and, you know, I sincerely appreciate it. So like you were just the type of person that are all about bigging people up and like putting them in a spotlight so they can be them. So I just want to first extend my thank you to you. My experience at Camp Getaway was absolutely amazing. I am not an outdoorsy girl. I'm from Harlem. I only know the concrete jungle. I do not know the regular jungle or the forest. And it was amazing. Like, we had a beautiful cabin, you know, the food was great, the people were great, the staff were great, the cast was great. And the fact that we all went there and we were all gay and like having pride, like it was like you said, I'd never been to a camp where that was accepted. Like I really didn't go to a lot of places where that was accepted. Like when I was younger, I had to hide that, or people would tease me because they knew that I was different, right? Sometimes even before me. So like going to Camp Getaway was like the complete opposite experience. It was like healing. The weekend for me was healing. And it really opened my eyes to how much we need things like that, and need inclusion, you know, and need equity and diversity in this world, in spaces, whether it be in organizations, you know, or like where you go to the store, like just everywhere. We need diversity, equity, and inclusion everywhere, because it really it just builds people up in such a way that they just burst with so much light. And it was just like, I felt like my whole weekend, my light was like, was on, you know, my fire was burning bright, and everybody was tending to it to make sure it didn't go out. And that was something that was really, really beautiful and opened my eyes to so many different things that I didn't feel before, you know? Yeah.
Did you get a chance to see the episode?
Oh my God, I've watched the episode like 7 times already. It was an amazing episode. It was just really, really great. I love that they call me Black Jesus, because why not? the funny thing is that like I spoke to Carson before the contest when we were all getting ready to go into it, and I ran into him when I was getting a drink, and he was just like, "Oh, you look so beautiful." I was like, "I'm giving you like Black Jesus, bearded Lizzo vibes and stuff like that." And he was like, "Yeah, you look great." And then when he said it, and then when Bravo put Black Jesus, I was like, if they're not gonna get my name right, calling me Black Jesus is the only name that I would want to be named, because why not? That's an honor,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
the contest was great. There were about 60 of us. I remember it was like a long thing. And I think myself and Glow, we were in the top 5. So that was like really awesome to come together and then like do this contest and then be in the top together because we're drag sisters, we're in the house of light. We're out there bringing the light to the world. So it just was really great. It was really great.
Yeah, since I wasn't in the top 5, I was glad that my 2 friends that I brought were. So I was like, you know what? It's fine. I don't need to be in the top 5.
You were giving us Slutty Angel, and then you were giving us Little Red Devil. I remember you did your little costume change, boo. You won in my book.
Oh, thank you.
All the looks.
Yeah, but see, Glowjob beat me because she had her transformation
already built in. Yeah, she was already going. And I had my fan, and I was out there twirling. It was, we were just all doing our thing. We were doing our thing.
Yes. Well, I'm so glad you were there. Like, I knew that, like, when I was thinking about my friends that I wanted to include in that weekend, you were the first people I thought of to, like, get, because exactly what you said, that, like, how important those spaces are and, like, tending to your light, that's what I knew this weekend would be. And so I wanted to, like, bring you into that.
No, it was a beautiful experience. It's been life-changing, and I've made so many friends. Like, the cast has been great. Like, I just had a really beautiful time. And Camp Getaway is probably a place that I will go back to again because it was so much fun.
Yeah. I'm fingers crossed that it gets to open this year. I think we need it now more than ever, Yeah,
we really, really do. We do.
Yeah. So this has been amazing. Do you have any other parting thoughts? How can the children find you on social media?
Okay, so children, you can follow me on Instagram at Soul the Drag Queen, which is SOL the Drag Queen. Same name also for TikTok. And I've been playing around with TikTok. Like, I'm a little late to the trend, but being that I'm home, it's been so much fun, to do. But Instagram is kind of like where I live. So yeah, please follow me. I always follow back. And I really I don't do this just for me. I do this for the world. Like, I'm an entertainer. So if you want something from me, if you want to see me do something different, like, let me know. Like, I'm open to it. Like, there's nothing that you can't ask me that I will be offended of unless you come with the mess, because don't come with the mess.
Beautiful. I love it. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was so lovely to have you. So good to see you. I cannot wait to dance with you once it is safe to do so.
Thank you so much, Glenn, and I hope you have a beautiful day and a gorgeous weekend. And just thank you again for including me and just letting me shine my light to the world. I really appreciate you.
I love you. Oh, thank you, bud. All right, so thank you for watching this next episode of Glitter and Gossip. Tune in next week when we interview Glowjob, sister. So I'm going to keep on highlighting members of the LGBT community, my friends, people that inspire me, that I see that are spreading their light. So tune in next week. Thanks for watching, guys.
Bye, everyone. Love and light.